Definitely, we are loading in now, and the loading has gone through without a hitch. Seattle Sloths gonna be spawning on the bad side of this map towards the P3, not the P2. And we're already gonna go ahead and see this bloodbath that's about to happen towards this ring hill. The Slinky, he's gonna see some players' trades already coming through in the early game. 3 players go down for Seattle, make it the 4th, and Florida are gonna get this early time after a quick 3 seconds by Seattle.
Yeah, and just like that, players spawning out to their spawn side, that P3, and now at this point, players know that there is no congestion in this midpoint. Number 6 has locked that down, low Lord, and again, 4 dropping, and it looks like now they're they recognize that there's really not much time to peek this hill, and they're going to start to work towards this P2 side. Low Lord really locking down this mid lane. Number 1 on your screen is gonna be Low Pulse. He's weak. He's one shot. He's down. Low Lord with a 5 streak of his own gets taken out, and just like that, after our first hill, nearly 50 seconds of the 60 going the way of the Florida Muteers.
Yeah, an ultimately dominant first hill, and not only did they get all that time, they have the rotation, they've got the spawns. Low Pulse is going to be running into the sight lines of 2 players in the back. Theoretic Kaku is going to pick him up, and that push from the back is going to be the main focus here. Sock is in the front. He's going to find one of the Slinky. Shoulder peeks, makes the re-challenge, but is going to get taken down, but Jeffe does manage to snake through the back. He's going to find one. Going to be the only player on the point, but here comes the help. The parallels coming out, and Seattle Sloths eventually going to find all the kills necessary to get on the board.
That's okay. I mean, they got that Low Lord was their last kill. That's 4 players. They know that now the information comes through. They're spawning back in this top stairs of basketball. But just like that, Florida retaking, forcing spawns out to this P3 side, which is going to work in the favor of the Seattle Sloths. This effectively gives them the early rotation and setup for this P3 hill. But that being said, we do have players already beginning to flood in, and it looks like the preference is on this glass and mansion side. I feel like if there is a coordinated push by the Muteers to go through this gym side, it's really only 1 player they have to worry about.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely a lot of focus towards that side, and Slinky gonna get the entry kill. Low Lord tries to go for the kill, but Slinky's got his help. So 2 down, 4v2. Seattle spawning out. Slinky finds his 3rd. Is he gonna find the 4th? No. Theoretic Kaku takes it away from him, and is gonna be able to clear out this hill. And just like that, as fast as the rotation was there, the break comes through. But Seattle responding already with a quick 2. They find the 3rd, and are they about to re-break onto their own hill? Yes, they are, as the final kill comes through. A great P3 for this matchup so far.
Perfectly executed retakes by both teams. Like you said, the early setup going the way of the Seattle Sloths. Florida taken back by the Sloths. The early setup now the way of the Florida Muteers for this P4. I do anticipate we're going to see a lot of this back and forth play by both of these teams. The gun skill is there, as Low Lord missing some, but does manage to get the kill down. And as we move forwards here, Florida Muteers continue to stomp on this hill, and so we don't really have that strong of a contention yet coming through from the Seattle Sloths as they attempt to retake.
That's a sub.
Yeah. Sub in that cutout is not going to really be ideal for the player as he gets challenged by an AR, but as we say that, we are halfway through this point, and already the scoreline's nearly doubled. There's a 3 kills going the way of the Florida Muteers, and Low Lord really here on this heady. It's difficult to challenge this, and the team has just decided at this point to hit through this kitchen side of things and this money window and really start to set up for P5. But as we say that, as we head into this P5 hill, it's nearly a 70-point advantage for the side of the Florida Muteers.
And we want to talk about perfect holds, a good solid positioning to get those trades and get those big pieces. That was all it was from Florida, but now Seattle in a great spot to hopefully retake the points. Low Pulse in a solid position top ring, and 2 players in the hill are looking on the crossfires. Florida, though, they find a couple. They're looking to break in. 1 player slides out. Kermit gets that kill. Low Lord is picking up the kills on the ring side. 1 player, Pillars, is going to drop, and all the players from Seattle are quickly spotting out towards the zig part of this map. And Poner trying to do everything he can. Seattle find 2. They find a 3rd. The last player's in the hill. They try to push him out. Hill Jeffe, he finds a nice little 2-piece onto the hill, and back and forth we go on this point. really only one hold being the difference between these two teams so far in this game is that P4 hold by Florida.
Yeah, and as we learned, breaks are coming through. What I noticed, I think, Florida Muleteers are up 80 points here, about even 80 points in the lead. Sloths, both teams do a great job of breaking the hill, but for the longer term periods of those holds, Florida Muleteers are getting sufficiently more points before that hill is broken. So if Sloths can maybe develop a way to have better lines of sight, maybe, or whatever it is, or just stay alive longer and play those, they are right back in here. And as we say that, the early advantage in the time, it did go the way of the Seattle Sloths. Nobody at the moment on the hill as Florida is starting to surge on, and Sloths do get this. The rest of this time, it looks like, again, nobody on that point. It looks like teams are actually starting to really focus on this P2 hill. As you can see, number 7 on your minimap, that's going to be Kermit. He is set up for that mid push. He's going to watch the pillars cross now, and he does get taken out by SOC, so Sock is going to actually help his team spawn there in the back, and just like that, the early setup again going the way of the Seattle Sloths, and they really need to get a full safety after this hill.
Yeah, and honestly, great shots there by Sock to pick up the 2. The rest of the push going to be in the back. Poner finds one. He's in position to take out the other, and the spawns on the water side for Florida, so that push is going to develop there. But we talk about leads, everybody likes to act like an 80-point lead is so large. It's only a full hold and a half, buddy. And that's really what Seattle are doing right now. The kill feed, all white, flawless play right now out of Seattle to hold on this kitchen hill. They got players cutouts, players looking laundry, players holding open stairs. I don't think every player on Seattle Sloths for a moment was on a streak before Poner finally went down. So just as that, a 70-point lead go to Florida, Seattle Sloths are right back in this game.
And I'm not sure, I got nervous at first that they had out mid a little bit too far, but as the players dropped by cutout, number 1 on your screen, low post actually went back to the very back of kitchen and made sure to anchor those a little bit more. And so as we say that, they're right back in this, and they are set up for a little bit of a retake. As I say that, I thought that Sock maybe was in a position to be a nuisance there, but this does allow an opportunity for a coordinated 4-player push. As you said, that Kermit pushed up to this bottom. Art does manage to stay up for the time being, is getting challenged, gets taken out, and Hefe does get one as well. So 2 players down in white, trades coming in for both teams. All of this time so far, as we're halfway down this hill, going the way of the Muleteers. There really hasn't been that, and as we say that, there's some contention here by Poner and the side of the Seattle Sloths. He's getting challenged. He does not take that player out. Trades coming through. The early rotation is set up for the Florida Muleteers, as number 8 and 6 on your map are both set up for new. It's going to be Lolord and Theo. As we do have 2 players also besides Seattle Sloths that are telling out the back stairs, as Hefe with a huge opening kill. He is going to anticipate players that will look this way, and this is kind of a huge penetration.
Yeah, and we talk about holds, talk about a P2, P3 contrast, both teams holding opposite ends of it. And now we're just seeing a bloodbath towards the top of these stairs. Florida Muleteers can win it here. If you're Seattle, this is do or die. And that player on the flank, Sock, he's not going to be able to get much done. He gets read by Lowlord, a huge 2-piece. 1 player left standing at the cutout. Rest of the players are off spawn. Lowporce is going to be in the front. He's going to find a huge 2. He will get traded. 3v2 on the point. Slinky goes for the chow. He finds 1. It's going to be a 1v1 close to the hill. Theoretic Kaku not going to be able to win it. Soccer finds 2. 5 points for Florida Muleteers to win this, and Seattle are not giving in now. But as you can see, the rotation started to come through middle of the map, very dominantly controlled by Florida. And Seattle gotta make something happen. This low pulse finds 2. This could be what they need. Slinky finds the trades. Theoretic Kaku is there. They 2v4 the team, and it's just so close. But hey, you and I just made a whole bunch of channel points, man.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot.
Yeah, that is just a stellar map 1 that you want to see. Some flawless play there on the map from both teams. We talk about perfect holds. I'm cautious to gamble it away, so I'm just going to keep my 39K, and I'm going to be happy with that. But we are hopping into the map 2, and this is where we want to see Seattle come out with a fire and even it up 1-1. We've won a fun series, and the aggressive push already starting to come out on that A site. We got a couple players here from Florida, 3 players here from Seattle, 1 player is patrolling middle for each team. And the tension is rising as we're just waiting to see our opening gunfights, nades, stuns, everything getting thrown out. Low Pulse gets tagged up, and Slinky's going to have the first blood to his name. As we now enter a 3v4, but Sock, he's going to even up to a 3v3.
And just like that, I think, and as we say that, a 2 coming through,
Sock.
a 1 versus 3 for Kermit. Sock completely going off into 3-0. They do know that Kermit is in this mid side of this bottom Eskies here, and just like
And that's the ace.
that's an ace for Sock.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we want to see. You know, you asked for a good series, a map 1 win to Florida. We're looking at a map 2 early start ace for Sock to help Seattle. He challenges that, half wins it.
Listen,
This guy is absolutely on a tear.
I put 50k channel points on Seattle Sloths. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. I feel like, you know, this is gonna go pretty far. I feel like this is the series that even if 5 the way this is panned out. We said it earlier, right? That Florida was gonna take 1 and 4. Seattle's gonna take 2 and 3. And so far so good. We're on board here with Sock. He's working towards his streaks here, which are great and great utilization for this map. Hefe with the intro kills. He is going to tell his team that there are players coming down this street side. Kermit will be traded out after his kill on the pulse. Sock doing really kind to stay alive up by this Eski side still. I wonder if he is going to be able to team up here with Corner. He is still rotating. You see him on this push through the number 2 on your map. He's over by that P2 side of if we're speaking hardpoint bottom cop. Just playing information as it is now down to a 2 versus 2. Bomb is down. There's a player number 8 on your screen who does have the positioning to get this flank, as players on your on number 2 and 3 are trying to push around and retake. Number 2 and bottom top, that's Sock. He's going to be just being a nuisance, and those long range shots against the AR, he does manage to get the information and get the pick from his teammate. And just like that, Slinky makes it a 1v1, and it looks like Sock is going to do what he can to slide in and challenge. Only 15 seconds left here before the bomb needs to be defused. They're really just chasing each other at this point, and oh, this is the play that we were looking for here. He's just playing the bomb checks and staying alive. Slinky needs to push in as Sock is defusing. Is he not gonna?
Yeah, he's not
Sock jumped off the bomb.
Anyway. He wouldn't have got it anyway, and honestly, at that point, you gotta favor your streaks more, and hey, that's 5 kills to it.
That's
5 and 0 for the guy. So, while you don't win the round, it comes down to a really close 1v1. Those streaks, you're thinking about the long game. This is a great win by Slinky to really secure that round win. And honestly, a close round in all actuality. So, here's to hoping that we will see more close rounds like that in Sock. You know, Guy is having a stellar map 2 to start.
Yeah, and to your point, I would have liked to see the round win, but I think the way the timing panned out, he would have probably been killed off the bomb after he defused and ruined his streak potential, right? So as it stands, he's about 1 or maybe 2 away from getting that artillery. And so I think that play was certainly in his benefit as both teams kind of playing for pick your low post. Does get the first one as Sock. Interesting to have him jump out of this mid window, as there are players on this globe side of bus stop. Number 7 on your stream, that's going to be Kermit. He does get taken out as well by Pulse. Pulse 2 so far of this round, doing it all for the team. It looks like they're going to rewrap this to A, as they are starting to cross this checker size. Yes, Sock. And number 4 on your screen is going to be FA. Alpha FA is taking this rotation to A now, and they obviously don't know what we know, and that players on the side of the Florida Muteers are still set up in B. But now that the bomb is down, 5 and 6 of your screen, Slinky and Low play this retake. And as we say that, look at this setup on the side of the Seattle Sloths, really just watching everything. Number 3 is watching Eskies, 4 is watching Bricks, 2 is watching that Esky, 1 is watching the back flank. It's in this 1v4, obviously impossible, I feel like, for Slinky to clutch up here with 20 seconds. And as we say that, he does drop.
Pulse might have gotten all 4 on the round there.
Did he?
He might have. I know he got at least 3. He might have gotten all 4.
So that was 3 just then.
Okay.
And so if he got this last one, yeah, that's an ace for Lopez.
I guess we'll see when we look at the streak. If it says 3, then he only got 3. But if he got all 4, then that's the second ace for Seattle. And it does say 4, so he gets the
Oh,
ace
wow.
on that round. 2 aces secure the second round win for Seattle. So clearly a correlation there. When your teammates are acing rounds, it's pretty easy to win them, right? So heading into this round number 4, Florida on the offense. It's a very offense-heavy map altogether, but Poles, he chows out with the sub, just happens to run to an AR, and he's going to get taken down, and Florida look like they want to take this up through Eskies onto this A-bomb, but Sock putting some pop shots in, he's going to deny that push. Poner pushed up on that globe. Hetty's such a nuisance. He finds one. He's just going to try to do his best to find a second. He's that player in the window, wins that gunfight so close. 2 HP, actually one shot. Sock picks up 1. He's just so close to streaks, and Poner picks up the last. A very, very dominant round for Seattle Sloths, even after getting first blooded.
Yeah, and as we start to think about the potential of streaks playing a role in this map, Sock on a 6 or was it 7? Now that the round ended, he does have an opportunity now to maybe slow things down, play his life. Although the fast kind of gameplay that we saw out of him and the intro kills, in my opinion, I mean, in your opinion, you're a flex player primarily. Do you slow down and play your life? Do you get the streak, or do you continue to play what's been doing what's been working for you?
Overall, I'm going to try to do what'll get us the round or the map win in the future as Pulse goes ahead and just chows out with a sub and wins that gunfight fairly easily. But I'm always looking forward to winning the map, not just the round. So in this particular case, I'm having support from my team. Poner's got 5, Low Pulse has got 5. They're on a couple of streaks as well. So I'm just going to play my life. I'm going to look to get these streaks and be able to use those later on in some offensive or defensive positions. And so I'm really just going to play for these streaks here as Kermit, he finds one towards the retake, but the positioning from Seattle is going to be a great service to them. Lowlord gets tagged up. And right now, all you have to do is play the clock if you're Seattle. You got bombed down.
All right, with bomb down, it is a 3 versus 3. Make that a 2 versus 3. Sock does have one in his line of sight. Can he clean it up? And he does. So he just got his artillery from that. He is now put in a 1 versus 2 situation as bomb is going down, and he takes out.
Yeah, he got the kill. He got the kill, so he's going to have streaks.
Yeah.
Regardless of the round win, he got streaks.
Absolutely standout plays here by Sock, as well as Low Pulse and the support there for that role. That duo of an AR and sub just completely stepping up and showing their dominance here for their team is certainly going to influence these later rounds. The streaks are certainly going to come in. I anticipate, if bomb goes down and Sock stays alive, chances are they'll plant A here and play for a streak. Or at the very least, with information on defense, they will. When sides flip, of course, their next offense, they may, elect to play that A side. But we are on board with Low Pulse here. Low Pulse has now switched off of his AR to a sub these last couple rounds, and it's continuing to show that he is able to play in that flex role. Number 2 on your screen is knows that there are players here. I don't know that he wants to challenge too quickly and does get taken out. And so just like that, we're in a 2 versus 4, the life count going in the advantage of the side of Vladimir Tears. We do have player number 3 on the screen in mid. Should not have lost that gunfight, but he does lose it to it looks like there's a team shot that came through. So with a 1 versus 4 setup, you can anticipate at this point bomb is starting to go down. Yep, we do have the bomb down. Number 4 on your screen, last alive. Really try to make the most of his life here. Picks out 1, nobody there for the trade, and 3 players stacked in point. This is going to be a challenging retake here. As we say that it's
Yeah, and honestly, the downfall there for Seattle was it seemed like they had a much more aggressive positioning in that round compared to when they played previously. Their defensive rounds up to this point have been fairly laid back. Maybe a player or two got aggressive, but for the most part, they played the angle. They sat back a little bit, but heading into that round, they got very aggressive up towards that street side of the map, which not a horrible play in general, but I do think it was a contributing factor that they just so happened to run into those players pushing B. But now the triple nade onto Alley against Slinky, as he's just going to be shoulder peeking this main peak. And if you're definitely Seattle Sloths, you're looking to get the bomb down, and then you want to use Sock Streak to just get you a free round one.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, they're kind of in a position to do so. Stock needs to stay alive. Does honestly, I don't know how you save it at this point. Bob obviously has to go down first before anything else. There are two players that are stacked at this point. It looks like they'll wrap through mid. Does go down, as they don't know where this last player is. They do know two are on this A side. It looks like Theo is watching this line, and I'd anticipate that somebody will check this side. It looks like one's taking booth, and they do manage to collapse and get the team trade kill in. And just like that, is a 1 versus 2 situation is going the way of the Seattle Sloths. Are now up, and the Sloths do take out the last player for a 4-3 round advantage in the search so far.
Yeah, definitely. That was just a very, very solid round one from Seattle Sloths, and they didn't even have to utilize the shrieks. Did a very good job of rotating around, finding those openings within Florida's defense, and doing a very, very good job of capitalizing on those. So, again, Seattle doing a great job off the back of Sock 9 and 2 to get themselves back in the series and even it up 1-1, but got to close out 2 more rounds, and that's a streak per round.
I mean, and if we kind of talk about the utilization of the streaks on a map like Moscow, it's really only going and so if Sock completely going off, like, there's no point in even having this conversation. At this rate, he's gonna finish the game without using
him. Yeah,
right.
And El Jefe finds one.
Oh my God,
finds the shot punch, and that's just it. Like, overall, it's you just can't stop this guy right now. You know, went a little bit unnosed in the hard point, but he says, "Nah, guys, I'm an S&D kid." Just takes out 2. Once again, combined with the first round of ace, the guy is 11 and 2. He's got a couple streaks. If you get this bomb down A, there's a very slim chance that Florida can win this game.
Yeah, they are in the position here as they elect to B. It looks like they are in a position here to get these intro streaks kind of coming through for them in their favor. I think that maybe Florida, you know, knows that streaks are there, and they maybe are stacking A little bit more, right? With some players here on this globe side watching the cross. It looks like so far it's slow push on this B side. I think they did this last offense though, and they decided to kind of wrap through mid after some gunfights went down. So they maybe distracted them long enough to get that rotation in. And as we say that, 2-0 down on the side of the Seattle Sloths, and it is a 2v4 with the life advantage going to Florida Muted. And as we say that, a 1 versus 3 situation now going for Sock. And I mean, Sock, the player to make it happen. If it's going to happen, he's been going off all maps so far. He does have the streak. In my mind, it's like, I mean, obviously don't use it, but how wild would like an artillery tank for information be in just the 1v4?
Yeah, and like you said, if there's a person on the team that you want to do it, it's got to be this guy. But 20 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be very difficult for him to pull this off. But obviously, you're looking for the silver lining. You don't need this round win. You just got to give it to Florida. You played really well on defense. We're going to be on the defense next time. And hopefully we'll be able to take it out with the streaks. But Florida not done yet. They can find a way to live through Sock's rampage and live through the streaks, then they can take this map too and go up 2-0.
I mean, it's certainly still possible. We talk about, you know, all the time about how important head and make sure that you're playing one round at a time, and you know, in the way that they were able to stay composed here in the hard point in their breaks and rotations, I do feel like this Florida roster is still capable of getting these round wins for the victory. Yeah,
Low pulse
definitely a
blown
team
off the map,
right
and
there.
here's the streak. It's not gonna find anything, but that information from the ping of the artillery definitely comes through. So they know that they're all gonna be located inside of this gold area. And now you just have to make a guess as to where they're going to rotate it from there. Player number 4, that's going to be Jeff A, is going to be on the street. He's going to be your first line of defense. Slinky's going to spot him out, going to take the challenge, and going to win it out. Toner
Dude.
gets taken down on the other side of the map, and you use the streak. That's gone. You only have the cruise missile now. And this is going to be almost a for certain 4th round win unless Sock pulls out another piece of mastery to add to his art. This is most definitely going to round 11 for our map too, and I can't think of a better thing for this to happen in this series.
Yeah, and just like that, head into round 11, and I don't know about you, but what I need to see this round, especially having put my life and my my nest egg into this team, I need to see a defensive push to A. I don't know why I feel like this needs to happen, but Sock needs to play with the intensity in these opening pushes that we've been seeing from all game, and just like that, we have 2 going the A side. 4 is playing this mid peak, and we were kind of talking about this earlier, right? Round 11s are so unique that you hope that your team is playing what you practiced. It's tough on game day to get in your head. He does use the streak pretty early in the round.
But that's going to be good for information, though. You
Yeah.
have to think about that info. Him not seeing anybody on the map is a pretty clear sign that those guys are going to be held up in either bank or gold, and honestly, it's more likely that they're going to be held up in gold. LJFA going to see the cross, he's going to get that info. And these players are slowly starting to get constricted like a snake around them as Lopez is snuck into the back. If he gets a lucky timing on this cross, actually he gets so unlucky as the players cross right behind him. And he's going to be looking for a flank that's no longer there for him. The players have rotated off B with the perfect timing and have gone on to the A bomb site. This is going to be a free plant for Florida. No streaks. This is going to be pure madness. Hopefully we don't see something crazy happen like a 3-piece when everybody is lined up.
Okay, intro break.
Yeah, Low Pulse uses his position to find one, so that's good. Slinky is probably going to get caught on Eskies. He will. Okay. So Seattle Sloths are in a great position to regain this control. But still, we've seen crazier things happen on this bomb site before. Theory Kaku and Low Ward. 20 seconds they have to let fly by before they can win this round. Honestly, someone's going to hop on this bomb now. One player's going to go down. Theoretic Kaku finds 2, but he's going to hop the bomb. Is he going to make it in time? He's not going to make it. Tears close it out 2-0.
No! No! I'm going to log off. Hey, guys, I'll see you next week.
Theoretic Kaku with a huge play. He finds 2! And then the nade kills him.
If I had any more channel points, I would also be betting with you. But right now, unfortunately, I'm pretty broke. I'm going to be trolling these streams even if I'm watching it next week. All right, well, on board with Sock. Sock is our standout player.
And look at this play. They just wrap straight to pillars. They're fighting for the control. Kermit finds the first blood, but Sock is making his name known once again. Jeffe finds 1. They find the 3rd. And talk about a regain, and here it is. They're playing for the kills. They're playing for the lives, and Sock is up here. Low Word's going to drop Low Pulse. But this control is so dominant. They've got all of A. Sock is off to a 4 spree. The guy is continuing his spree of dominance. A goes the way of Seattle Sloths. And you want to talk about a regain? This is about as good as it's going to get.
Yeah, and this is, I think, like we were saying, right, what we kind of expected out of Sock. I think that if he slowed down at all after that search, I think I would have been disappointed. But this is the spawn trap so convincingly coming after such a stacked A, takeover. Sock on a 5 streak, up 7 lives. Logan in some of his own here in the middle of the trade. It's everything really is beginning to work in the favor of the Seattle Sloths. And early on in this offense, these are the rounds that you need to win to get some of that momentum back in your favor. And not only that, but it's the offensive round on a map that is pretty heavily defensively,
Yeah, I
benefits the
agree.
defensive side. Yeah.
And you're just looking at these pushes, the pressure has been on, the kill feeds are constantly trading back and forth, no one's gone huge, but again, Sock is the name that appears in the kill feed so much. He just found his third, he's looking for his fourth. Is he gonna find it? Not quite, but Low Pulse is in position, he's gonna lay some shots down. The second tick is about to come through, and it might not, it's right there, it's oh so close as Florida finds 3, and they're going to be able to wipe that tick of progress all the way off if they can stop it. Sock, though, he's the man on the mission. 11 and 3 right now. Make it 12 with 2 HP, as they're going to get that second tick, and their positioning is just stellar right now. One player on the flank, he's quickly cleaned up. Two more go down, and Seattle Sloths. You want to talk about a regain, the start of something miraculous, a work of art. This is what you want to see, man.
This is the offensive dominant map, round 1 control that leads to our map 5. This is what we need to see out of a team that has only met with, shortcomings in the last 2 maps. Certainly they're not happy with the way that they're swept out of the last few rounds of that search. Sock continuing to prove that he's able to, regain after having done such a good job in carrying his team in that search. Low Pulse here, hoping to get the intro picks, as there's really no contention here on this pillar side to A. They're going to be playing this flank through as Low Pulse on a sneaky little flank here. Number 6 and number 1 in your map. Number 1 Pulse does get his kill. So it looks like they've focused on a little bit of a flank here as Pulse continues to take players out. Slinky will get traded out on the point. Sock continuing to go off. And
everybody else in the lobby in single-digit kills right now. This guy is just absolutely frying.
Yeah, now that they noticed that the B kind of point is starting to get challenged, like they spawned over that mansion side. Low job of rotating and picking up those kills. And yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry I cut you off there.
No, you were doing a great job just keeping up with all of this. The action is just flying by as Seattle are having to do a stellar job of keeping up as Kermit finds 3 of his own. Just pieces upon pieces, trades upon trades, and right now, look at the ticks. No point captured yet, but the gunfights are this close. 2 ticks of progress basically at both points, and A is about to go the way of Florida.
A kind of stacked and nearly actually shot. Okay, there you go. They go the way of Florida. Florida now with 3 dead. Got to push out spawns. And they're going to know that players obviously are going to be, trying to defend this point here. Poner last alive for the time being in this ticket. He does get picked out as players come off the spawns. And look at the stack here in kitchen and window. Number 8 on your screen, crucial kill. And it looks like, number 7 and number 6 are going to be working that point. Bonham Mansion push out here for number 6 of Lowlord. They know obviously at this point with controlled spawns being set spawns off the intro rip of the hill. They know that players are gonna be spawning back there. The trades coming through and back and forth, and really can't ask for anything more. I feel like on control.
And Sock, I think this just skipped past us both. Sock's got an artillery. If things really come down to it, this guy has the streak as he's just picking up 2 more. He's got to be careful, though. He almost finds a third, but Theoretic Kaku shuts him down, and 2 people is more than enough to get this point down, but El Jefe finds 1. Theoretic Kaku almost finds a second, but runs out of ammo. This is just oh so close. Sock picks up 1 as he pushes into kitchen. Reinforcements are coming through for Florida right now. Low pulse guns, 1 down. They're coming from Mansion all sides. Kermit flies into Tiki. He's hunting for Low Pulse. He finds him. He turns around. He finds the second on the Jeppe. No. He's swimming with the sharks right now. He challenges Poner and wins the gunfight. Sock, though, he's on the flank. He's looking for kills, but Theoretic Kaku's got his back. 4v4. No lives remaining. Trades are in. 3v3 now. As it's going to have to slow down for just a second with a minute on the clock. So slow. Poner finds 1. Sockheart's dead. Theoretic Kaku looking for the trade, but there it is. 1 versus 1. Lowlord versus.
Oh my god. Play search now, right?
Yeah, the info is out for both players. 40 seconds on the clock. If you want a round win, to end like this, you gotta want it. Florida to even up this map, low pulse to even it up.
Such a smart
To,
play here. Waiting for him to peek out of this Tiki side. I don't know if he knows that he's there, but he's waiting to bait him out a bit here. Oh, Low, so smart and just staying where the player decides to stay on the hill and he decides to push, slides out with the sub and gets the kill. Seattle Sloths clearing up with a 2-0 advantage in a first to 3 round control.
And that is, this has been one of the best control maps that I've watched in quite some time. Just look at these shots and pieces going back and forth for both teams. This is absolutely wild. And honestly, I'm not sure if we can even count Florida out of this control.
Point, we started to hype up Seattle last surge, and Florida completely blew us out of the water. So, yeah. But also, I would love to have been able to get into the minds of the Seattle Sloths. It's possible they were in that same mentality where they're like, we got this bad, we got 2 whatever. Seattle cannot slow down here, pedal to the floor for the rest of this map. You know, it looks like it's a lot slower than the last few rounds. Low post on a flank, as I say that. So he wasn't playing slow at all. The stack is coming through for the Seattle Sloths. And, you know, so far after this first take on A, you'd anticipate maybe one more player and be rotating off after they spawn. And, you know, as I say that, Low Lord, huge to get these 2 off the. He needs to get. Oh, yes, one.
LJFA picks up 2, so this point will go steadily in favor of Seattle. 2 minutes going to be on the clock, but the life lead, not much to be impressed by at this point. Only a 1-up to Seattle. Low Ward's in position. He's going to even it up. He should get traded here, which he does, but Kermit does something as well. We have a player in top apartment, but he is going to get taken down. A slow control round to meet our fast-paced ones, and that's some great shots right there. And Sock with a sub. This guy has a 74U playing like an AR, and he's still got a streak to work with. This round just oh so slow, but oh so entertaining.
And he's going to use that streak right now. I believe he just laid down. It's possible that maybe he's just playing his life. Yeah, he still has his streak. So it looks like, you know, obviously with the life advantage the way it is, he's not going to use it if it goes to another round. He's likely to pull it out on the defensive end. But right now, with the stack coming through, that B progression going by quick, Slinky needs to move out of this mid and help the team over the contention. There's a player here on this cutout flying in for the help. Low Pulse staying alive as best he can. The only player right now in the hill, as his teammates are coming off spawn number 7, is able to clear it up. So for the time being, they stop the bleeding. Players are wrapping around, knowing that the side of the Seattle Sloths are coming off spawns. Right now, they really need to do their best here to just set up these lanes, these long lines of sights, and pushes to come through.
I agree 100%. You've already got 2 ticks on. If I'm honest, the defense has to be aggressive here. We don't want to push up into the spawn, get the spawn trap going. Some trades happening. Kermit was on a 5 spree, so that kill's huge to prevent streaks. LJFA is going to pick up 1. The life lead's nothing to be impressed by as the trades continue to go down. And Sock, he's going to be 1 player on the point. No reinforcements just yet, but his teammates are getting the kills that they need to in the map. Slinky sees him on the point. He's going to chow with his teammate. Sock, he's going to be able to stay alive in the corner. That might be it.
Oh, wow. And just like that. This is what happened the first series, though. Like, it was so close the first 2 maps, the control was a blowout, and now this is, in my opinion, a fresh slate, right? We got past the control, and this momentum shift is in our favor. These players that we just 3-0'd are starting to look at us.
And we're going to start off on the side of Florida. They're going to be having to fight for those spawns. Seattle Sloths have the benefit of spawning towards that P2 side. And off the break, Low Pulse already does some work. He finds 1. El Jefe goes down. Sock gonna find 1. He's starting off strong, not dying off rip. Low Pulse, though, gonna drop while he's defending for spawns. And these first few seconds are gonna go the way of Seattle. But you have to start looking at the kill feed and seeing that spawn fight develop. Florida pushed up onto the point, pushing through that left side. Can they keep up the pace?
Absolutely, and you know, as we continue to see these pushes come through, we are seeing number 6 on your continuing to push through Temple. He does have some members of the team here for this P2 spawn side. And so the early setup going the way of the Florida Muteteers. However, the early lead, I mean, only by about 10 or 11 points is going the side of Seattle Sloths. I do think that first hill is scrappy in nature, difficult to get those kills. But just like that, I feel like Seattle is not in a difficult position to get this retake as 2 go down. Number 7 on your hill is really person. These spawns do flip out, so 5 and in your team, you see they spawn on this left side of your map, that's all the way back by P3.
And
they're gonna have a hard. Go ahead.
That's a clean 4 down right there for the side of Seattle. But going back to what we saw in the first hard point, it's a break for a break. Theoretically, Kaku finds 2 before he goes down. And going back to that raid, every time we saw a break from one team, we'd see the break from another. The holds were parallels. Sock finds 2, goes for a 3rd, not quite get it. And Low Ward's going to be the last player on the point. He finds 2 of his own before he gets taken down. An absolute scrap of a P2, not something you expect to see.
And just like the J.K. Rowling's of the Harry Potter series continues to surprise and delight with the power of a rich, demanding, action-packed storytelling, we're seeing that exactly happening and unfolding on our screen as the Seattle Sloths continue to retake on these positions. And the early setup, I mean, does go the way of the Flyers for the time being. But with that being said, I mean, we were saying this early in the first hard point, the takes on both these teams have been stellar.
And you look at a guy like Low Pulse getting kills like that. This guy, I'm pretty sure if we had to give him a name for what he's known for, it's the flank. This guy has been on the flank every single game of this series, causing just like that. The early setup from Florida broken once again by the dominance that is Sock and Low Pulse on this map right now. But trades are in. Low Pulse will be the last one standing for the entire lobby on this point. And right now, we're just seeing a very back and forth map, all things considered.
Yeah, and as you say that, I mean, you know, just like, you know, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, there is an adult page. The plot fits together like wondrous jigsaw. This back and forth scrappiness on the hill, I mean, eventually it's going to come together into the one, you know, cohesive set of hills and those money hills. As we see that Kermit coming in with a 5 streak and a 2-piece and Sock return the favor. This back and forth Kermit does come off spawn here, takes up Sock, and just like that, we do see an even, you know, a split now in the points going in the favor of the Muteteers. So they're in the lead now for the first time in the.
Yeah, and 3 more go down for Seattle, and we're looking at parallels between players. Sock is an absolute menace right now. He's going to get taken down, though. Players are sliding out, and just like that, Seattle are going to have a 4 down once again. And Florida do a great job for the first time of holding a full 60, and that's just what they needed to give themselves the lead. But you talk about parallels between players. Sock, 15-9. On the other hand, you got Kermit going 13-6. The guy's doing all he can, and just like that, Florida are going to have the secure rotation, but El Jefe, he finds a 2-piece on the point. He's got support from his team, and Theoretically Kaku is just playing so silent up and above.
Yeah, and I mean, this hill is so difficult to break. This trench side of point, super easy to defend as Jefe doing what he can to stay low and see these players push in. As we say that, you know, players are going to be coming on this trench side, and they are taking out. Kermit is traded out by Poner. Poner, unfortunately, with the team kill, but he does have the you know, his players coming off spawn and rotating contest coming through. Slinky needs to go huge here, gets the one traded out, unfortunately, by Jefe. The hill ticking down here in the last 15 seconds. Rotation is going to go back to our mid side of things, as it looks like number 6 is already set up for P2 as well, as number 2 in your screen is going to take it out. Little Lord with a 2-piece, huge for this spawn in the rotation as we look forward here. All you need to do heading into this P1 is maintain these P2 spawns, because if this first hill is going to continue to be as scrappy as it was in the first rotation, you need to get that P2 money up.
Yeah, and honestly, just looking at the score line, so close. Sock leading the team, not quite as explosive, but still up there. And this is just a fine setup by Florida right now. They're doing their best to maintain their positions, but Poner, he comes out with a kill of his own, and Are we running 4 subs on the side of Seattle? We might be. As Toner is gonna find one and the trades are there. That should be very close to spawn break.
I gotta tell you, for P2 side, that three sub setup is not the worst idea, right? Like,
Definitely not.
Yeah, if you're forcing players to peek these windows, you have that close contention through Temple on the side of spawn flip. I mean, just like that. I mean, the P2 setup that the side of the muted tiers held all of that P1 continues to be working in their favor. They were flipped out initially in the beginning of this hill, but it looks like they've been able to retake pretty easily.
Yeah, and again, Florida did a great job of maintaining their rotation the first time before. But now, Seattle, they're looking to break, and it's going to be much harder. Florida have done a very good job of setting up and maintaining the pressure. They're holding all the right lanes. Low Lord finds another 2, and now Florida is just really starting to run away with it. They are absolutely frying throughout this hard point right now, managing to pull from a couple of full 60 rotations. And now they are looking so dominant. Great shots there from Kermit onto Hefe. A low pulse finds 2, almost finds the 3rd. And the trade's going to come out. But, like we say, it's only about an 80-point lead. That's no more. That's not much more than a full 60 hold.
I agree. Sorry, I was just surprised by those players that are already stacked on for whatever reason on this P4 hill. The rotations coming through for this fight for spawns. It looks like the team's flooding in this trench side of the P3, and the gunfights are back and forth in the trade. Seattle does need to come up huge here, and they managed. It's time still going the way of the muted tiers. The stock is gonna almost get turned. I would have lost my mind. I must cuss real blatantly on stream, other than that, but
yeah. Wow.
Seattle, this holds so far so good for their side with 20 seconds left. Like we always say, number 6 and 8 on your screen for Florida have the early rotation. This dark challenge coming out of here for 3 and 8 is going to be the game maker. Yeah, Low Pulse gets it, and he also has help from, which is Sock. So this early setup is going to likely go the way of the Seattle Sloths, with spawns being in their favor. They do get the first intro kill off the point as the trade does come in for Sock, and just like that, 2 down for the side of the Seattle Sloths. Make that 3 as the number 6 on your screen and 7 are pushing the point.
Oh, that's a triple headshot feed.
That is a rough.
Lowward has been a walking montage this game with so many of his clips right now. He is absolutely frying. Kermit finds 2 in his zone. Poner picks up 1. And this is still anybody's game. Don't get it twisted. While the hard point, the scoreline looks devastating, this can really go anyone's way, but Florida are trying to close it out soon. They can't win on this hill. The tick won't go their way, but they want to get as close as they can, and their kill feed is just all blue right now.
Kills going the way of the muted tiers as a both Theo temporarily there,
and that's just it.
Just like that, Florida does take the map and takes the series 3-1.
And this is what we're talking about. Loward with this QPC. G8 in challenges, but not yet by the pros. And look at these shots. Just absolutely decimating through Seattle at this point in time. Absolutely ridiculous.